There, it's Brittany Chavers. I'm back today with Jesse James beads and Dress It Up buttons, and we're going to do another project with these Alice in Wonderland beads. We're going to make a fun bracelet. Actually, we're going to make two bracelets featuring the Cheshire Cat and Alice this time. I'm going to dump these out. And we can go ahead and cut off our shanks, but if you want to keep them on, that's totally fine. You can use nippers, you can use scissors, whatever you have available. But because I'm taking those off and they hold the buttons together, I'm going to take my E6000 and put a little dab between the layers. So I'm going to cut that just flush on the yellow layer, trying not to hit that one because that's what's holding her face together. And I'm just going to put a little dab on there and push those back together. And I will do the exact same thing with the yellow and pink layer on the cat. Although I'm pretty sure the eyes would have held those in place, but better safe than sorry. And then I'm going to do my favorite thing that I do when I'm making buttons into jewelry. I'm going to take a little ring and attach it to the top of each one of my characters. So I'm going to take my E6000, put a little dot right there, and a little dot right there. Then we'll insert, these are soldered rings, but if you have a jump ring, you just want to put the opening of the jump ring in and insert it into the glue. That way it won't come undone. And then we'll do the exact same thing with Alice. And just gauge it from the front to see if that's what you'd like it to look like. I'm going to set those aside and let them dry for about 20 minutes before I handle them again. All right, I've waited some time for my two charms to dry, and I also have some chain from Jesse James Beads. This is some cool heart chain, but you can use whatever chain pretty much that you'd like to use as long as it's larger lengths like this. And I'm going to show you a great technique that's perfect for a beginner, or maybe you don't have a lot of time and you need a project, or you want to use up some scraps of your chain. I've recently shown another stretch bracelet with chain, but this one's going to be quite different. I just have some 0.8 millimeter stretch cord, and then I have a couple different sets of beads. I have this Color Classics powder blue strand that we're going to use with Alice, and then I have pink Dragonfruit that we're going to use with the Cheshire Cat. All right, starting with Alice, I'm just going to cut open my strand. I also have some of this really fun ice cream mix in Cookie Monster. I think we're actually going to use a couple of these just to supplement with those. Great color mixing there. Just all different fun shades in the same hue of blue. All right, and I've cut several pieces of chain. You can use as many links in each piece as you'd like. I'm going to use 10 here, but if you want to use 3 in one and then 5 in the next and then 20 in the next, that's totally okay. Now I am going to just start loading on some beads. I kind of want this little spacer where it's going to be up against my Alice. I'm going to put her on a jump ring. I'm going to attach a jump ring to the pendant in just a moment, but I'm going to put on that little spacer that was from our Strand, this fun saucer crystal, and then I'm going to just kind of wing it. I'm going to go and choose like this blue. So we definitely need a bling ball on here. And then here I'm going to start incorporating my chain. So I'm going to take my little piece and then I'm going to weave on each heart. So each piece will get the stretch cord woven through it. So I've just strung 3, then we'll go through the rest. And sometimes if you don't weave it correctly, it'll end up looking a little funky, and you'll be able to tell, which one you went through incorrectly. If that happens here, I'll show you. You're just coming in and out of your little hearts. And instead of it connecting like regular chain would, we're using it as your beads. So I didn't go through any of them incorrectly, so they're just laying against each other like that, and that's our spacer bead. And it looks like a tangle of wire or a tangle of beads, and I love the look. I'm gonna keep going. And I'm gonna add another one. So you want to come from opposite sides. You don't want to go into your chain from the same side. That's when you're going to get that a weird, it's not going to lay correctly. And then we have our next spacer. I'm going to go ahead and finish loading on my beads, and then I'll show you how to finish off the bracelet. Okay, so I have my bracelet strung, and it's super duper cute. I've also strung the Cheshire Cat one, and I had the same chain in gold, so I switched over to gold for that. I am going to go ahead and pre-stretch my cord, and that's so it doesn't stretch out over time. It will, but not as much if you pre-stretch. And you just want to go down your cord and pull tight. Now you can do this before you string any beads. I always forget to do it because I've always done it after I've strung. So that's just the order I do it in, but some of my friends do it before they string. All right, so then I am just gonna tie a knot, and I do that by doing an overhand knot 3 times. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, make sure it's not getting stuck in your chain, and we're looking good there. I'm gonna pull tight, and then 3. And we'll pull tight and grab some E6000, some Loctite, some GS Hypo Cement, and just put a little bit of a dollop of glue on that knot. I don't have any glue at the moment, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten that. And then after you dab it with glue, just trim your little ends. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Once you've dabbed glue, you're gonna slide that knot into your nearest bead. I made sure to choose a bead that was big enough to hold that knot. And this is just the cutest little bracelet set. I mean, together they're unstoppable, but if you want to wear them separately, so totally cute too. I just love that extra metal that the chain adds to the bracelets, and it gives you an extra way to use up some chain. And if you don't have any spacer beads on hand, but you have chain, great way to make your own spacers. You can do probably the same thing with a bunch of jump rings as well. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Dress It Up Buttons and Jessie James Beads for having me back. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.